Welcome back. Well, let's put the focus on Biocon now. The company's revenue and margin were above estimates, while margins were maintained sequentially. The generic segment was impacted by pricing pressure in the API segment. I did catch up with Peter Bains, the group CEO of Biocon, to discuss the quarter gone by. They began by asking him about the healthy sales biologics segment saw this quarter.
I mean, we're very happy, I think, with the performance of the biologics coming out of the transformational transition with the acquired business from Viatris, and it's very encouraging to see the kind of growth momentum building in the last quarter following that. And you've pointed out the highlights in the United States where, all the three major products, pegfilgrastim, trastuzumab, and glargine, grew market share quite substantially, and in some cases were the leading performer in their class. So we're very pleased with that. The growth momentum isn't just in the United States. The rest of the world markets had the best quarter ever, with growth around 50%. And in Europe, where we're just weeks out of the transition, we held very strong market share positions. So the underlying base business now with a fully acquired Biocon Biologics commercial engine is firing, and that's really encouraging as we look forward. Now, as we look forward, the new product flow is now on the horizon. It falls into two categories: the aspart and bevacizumab, which, as you know, are currently still on FDA hold. But we've completed all the submissions and requirements to the agency. There are no further outstanding requirements on our part, and now we're waiting for the agency to come and inspect. Subject to those inspections, of course, we have a line of sight of product launches toward the end of this year, but the impact would only be seen in fiscal 26. And then behind that, we have product assets like ustekinumab and aflibercept, where with ustekinumab, we now have a settlement with the originators and a path to launch in January next year. And that will be amongst the first wave of biosimilars to enter the market. And that's a very substantial opportunity, 11 billion globally and 7 billion of originator sales in the United States. With aflibercept, we settled for Canada. That's a $600 million opportunity, and we're working through the settlement with the originator to get access to other markets as well. So we're encouraged by both the underlying momentum and the opportunity that exists there, and the line of sight we now have to the next wave of product launches.
Well, the opportunity from liraglutide, the approval that you've received for this GLP-1 drug in the UK, we do understand you do have a first mover advantage. Give us a sense in terms of the opportunity, considering that the market is also moving to other molecules such as semaglutide.
That's an important point. And, the first thing for me to say here is that our generics group have comprehensive pipeline of GLP peptides, so it's leading the way with liraglutide. But behind that, we have semaglutide, tirzepatide, and in fact, an extensive pipeline of GLPs and indeed GIPs behind that. The scale of the market opportunity is enormous. Market estimates would suggest that the GLP market will, reach and exceed 100 billion by the end of this decade. That's a very, very significant strategic opportunity. We're extremely pleased, with the first file in the UK, which was the first file of a GLP in an advanced market anywhere, positions us well in the UK, but signals our strength in technically and in our development capabilities to advance these complex drug device GLP products to market. So we're positioning ourselves not just for liraglutide, but for semaglutide and for tirzepatide and beyond.
So can you quantify, or can you give us a sense in terms of when you say you're positioning for other opportunities such as semaglutide as well as tirzepatide, what do you mean by that? Can we expect any kind of filings in regulated markets in India? What is the opportunity for Biocon when it comes to these kind of molecules?
So the opportunity in Dimension, I've given what the market estimates are of up to and beyond 100 billion in terms of originator sales by the end of the decade. Our position on that is that we want to be able to compete across that entire market and in all geographies. So we to submit for these molecules over the coming years.
Okay. You mentioned that GLP-1 drugs could probably start reflecting in terms of an opportunity for Biocon by FY26. Could you elaborate on that? Will we see it in the P&L?
Yes, I think all goes well. You'll see a little bit of it in fiscal 25, but the impact won't be materially seen until 26. And we'll build from there.
Will it primarily be liraglutide that you're talking about?
Yes, it will. Initially, it will be in liraglutide, and then we'll follow on in the years to come as we submit the files for sema and tirzepatide.
Okay. Debt management continues to be a priority. How much is the consolidated debt on books as of now, and the plan to reduce it on the Biocon Biologics book in FY25?
Sure. I mean, debt is clearly a management priority, and you've seen management take action in fiscal 24, allocating $250 million to acquisition-related debt reduction. We will continue that focus in 25. We consolidated debts around 1.1 billion. We will look to pare that down further, and we have a fairly wide range of options and instruments that we could elect to do that.
How is the company looking to reduce that debt? Will it be via stake sale in Biocon Biologics or even Syngene?
Well, I mean, there's a wide range of options. There are bank and debt-related options and instruments. There are capital-related options and instruments. There are hybrid instruments. We're looking at all of them, we will look to select the appropriate instrument at the right time, but we will be looking to pare debt down.
How much stake does Serum hold in Biocon Biologics, and are they looking to probably invest more?
I can't comment on Serum's position on that, Ikta. That's for Serum to comment on.
Okay, but is there any talks underway in terms of a possible increase in terms of key shareholders' stake?
No, Ikta, there are no ongoing discussions there.
Right, interesting conversation there with Biocon. The stock up about 0.6%. We'll take a short break now, get you more on the markets and individual stocks on the other side.